Hi, let's explore Blackboard for a second. There are several things that you'll need to do inside of your sandbox prior to copying the course. It is very important to finish all of your changes prior to copying the course so that you don't have to make those changes over and over again. Of course, throughout the semester, things may pop up and may change, and you do have to make changes multiple times within your different course copies. But to minimize that, it's always best to update prior to copying. So let's go ahead and look at some of those updates. One thing to notice about this class is that there is quite a bit of HTML to give the students a lot more interactivity. So we're going to need to go to every single folder and make sure that the HTML is up to date, starting with the class introduction. In order to edit HTML, you're going to click these three dots right here, and the instructions for editing the HTML should be in orange. The rest of the active HTML is off to the side. Please do not change that. What will be changed is what's visible in red. So for specific instructions on how to change each one, you are welcome to Zoom call me or video call me and we can go through it together. If not, these are the things that you'll need to change, especially the ConnectEd card and any links that link back to your email address. So this one has a ConnectEd card. We will have to click Edit, and it says replace the following reference attributed with the URL of your ConnectEd card. Everyone's ConnectEd card should be exactly the same except for the email address. So if you want to change this just to your name, right there, this should update all of your ConnectEd information. But I also like to change the name here so that the student will get a personalized message with your name reference to it. You will need to change this in every single lesson, which happens 3 times. All right, this message right here is a customizable message, but it needs to be customized outside of Blackboard in Genially. So what I would like you to do is contact me and set up a meeting so that we can make it together and it'll be real fast. But I have Biology 2 and Biology 1 laid out here. All we're going to do is make a copy of the introduction and then change your information, and I will help you upload it to Blackboard. That way it has your image and your name, as well as any contact information that is within this interactive, such as, of course, there's me again, such as contacting the teacher. So we will need to change the page called contacting the teacher because it links to the email and the calendar. So we'll have to change that as well. Once we make those changes in Genially, we will copy the embed code up at the top. That whole thing right there. It's just one big long line of code. All right. After the introductory information, there's something called Chat with Tasha. What we need to do is just make sure that she has the most updated dates. And if she does not have the most updated dates, let me know and I can replace her. In this one, we would just change the reference address for the chat PDF. So again, contact me for that because I can change that source code reference. The rest of the code is over here. After you are done with class information, I don't believe that there's anything to change in the Start Here folder, but from now on, every single folder will have the same structure, and the lesson is what you want to change. You shouldn't have to change anything in the content of the class, just in the unit lesson, just in the bottom panel here, because you will need to change your email address and your ConnectEd card for each one of these. And as a little bonus, I like to add the course code. So for instance, my main course is 130871, but you may be teaching 1308Z or 1308-2E. It just depends on what the course is, and that helps students stay organized, but it's not necessary to change that. What is necessary to change is the reference to your ConnectEd card and the reference to your email, which is right here. And please only change these areas, because if you start highlighting up here, may appear to be blank, but it's actually not blank, and it is actually very important. So make sure not to delete anything. If you do accidentally delete something, or you update it and then give yourself a test email and it doesn't work, let me know and we will troubleshoot it together. So you can always click that. Don't forget that another thing that we can do is frequently using the student preview to make sure that the student has the most seamless experience. So I frequently check the student preview to make sure that it's appearing to the student the way that I imagine it should appear to them. So again, we have a lesson in Unit 2. We have a lesson in Unit 3. Next, we have the group project, which also has a group project overview right underneath the final submission. That will need to be updated right down here. Again, the same process by copying that email address and changing the email address. The lesson itself should not need to be changed. None of these need to be changed until you get to the final exam, and the cumulative review has the same card that you can use. Now, I would say that you can just copy paste the whole thing and recopy it, except of course each folder has its own title. So this one is final exam. That way when a student emails me, I know exactly where they're emailing me from, and I can better help them identify the issue. The last thing that needs to be changed is, of course, in the one last thing folder. Down at the bottom it says thank you. I wrote a little thank you note for my students. You can add anything you want to here as a final message to your students. This interactive is a short video that ends in a survey that I would love for the students to fill out to help me improve the course, but it's completely optional. Students don't have to do this. It's not a grade. But you do have your contact information, and this is one of the more important contact cards because students utilize this one a lot after they've finished all of their grades, and they have until the last day of class at noon to contact you. And this is usually where they will contact you from. After you have updated all of the HTML, we need to update all the due dates, closing dates, and announcement dates. I will make a separate video on those dates. I find it easiest to update the due dates from the gradebook, so that is where that addendum video will be located. Each and every assignment that is listed on the calendar has a due date listed that you will be able to follow. And so then you just go through each of these assignments and edit their due dates here, and make sure to check them off of your checklist so that you can stay organized, and we make sure that all of the due dates and the closing dates are updated. Blackboard frequently changes settings, and I'm in discussion with them about a possible setting to help us update the due dates faster, but until then this is a manual task, which is why I'm making a separate video about it. If you do make any corrections to those due dates, if you change the due dates because of a conflict that is specific to you or specific to your school district, you will need to make an announcement. Editing the announcements is a little bit different. You will have to click these three buttons or these three dots and click edit. If you click the actual announcement itself, it just brings up the announcement, nothing there. You can't edit it from here. You have to edit from here. But adding a new announcement is really easy. All we have to do is press the plus sign. When we press the plus sign, we're going to make the announcement. So we can say a date change, and you can notify students of the change. If you're sending it right away, I usually check send email copy because it has more likelihood that it will be opened by the student. But if you want to send it at a specific time, then you can schedule the announcement. I usually like to schedule them to open at midnight. or 11:59. So it just depends on your preference. And I would schedule this announcement at least 2 weeks before the given change. For instance, if you have something due on February 9th and originally it was due February 2nd, I would definitely make that change or that announcement to be 2 weeks before the change, so students don't have that anxiety about having an assignment due or not being sure of the due date. I do like to put a hide date for the last day of the semester, which you will have to find from your specific calendar at 11:59 p.m. And that way students are not confused or able to access any information past the closing date, and they can focus on the final itself. Once you press save, it does not actually post your announcement. Oh, this one's scheduled. I don't want to schedule the announcement. I want to send email copy. So once we save it, it is only saved as a draft. So it's not going to be posted automatically. Don't make an announcement and then forget to post it. You do have to press post now, of course, unless it's scheduled. I don't want to post this, so I'm going to go ahead and delete. The last thing that you're going to do is add the cover photo. When we go to content, we see the biology cover photo at the top. We can also see it here on the outside of the course. Now, this cover photo cannot be copied. When you copy the course to a new section, the cover photo is deleted every single time. So this is something that does need to be updated per each class. If you would like to use your own cover photo that's biology related, that's great, but I like to stay consistent so that when students look at their folders, they can clearly see which class is biology as opposed to algebra or English. So in order to do that, we are going to click on these 3 dots in the top right-hand corner and edit course image. Okay, I'm going to click this icon right here, and I'll choose to upload the file because I already have the file saved, though I may have to dig for it a little bit. There it is. And this is the image that I'm going to select. I'm going to select the original one. And you don't really have to preview it at all. It's already set and already ready to go. You'll just click next, and it automatically does this. Don't change it at all because it's already the correct size, and you'll just press save. This will make it your cover photo not only on the outside of the image, but also inside the course up here at the top as well. So you will have to do that for every single course that you copy. That is it for updating Blackboard. Everything else in the course should be auto-loaded or pre-loaded. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not going to run into problems throughout the semester. I'm here and available and flexible if you do need to make any changes. For instance, if your students are taking the genetics quiz and you notice that they didn't do very well, I would usually go to analytics, or you can even go to the quiz itself and look at the question analysis. It will make a new question analysis every time you open it, and it takes a few minutes, but it will email you when the question analysis is there. You can use question analysis to identify questions that are either too easy or too difficult, but currently you cannot edit the questions from this page. There is discussion about opening that possibility up in the future, but currently you cannot edit the quiz from here. Where we're going to go to edit the quiz is in the test bank right here. So manage bank, and then you will click on whichever quiz you want to use. I have all of the quizzes preloaded, and then the course introduction, of course. I keep a blank bank in case I make new assignments. I connect it to the blank bank before the original bank is available. But each one of these can be edited. Each question can be edited by clicking these 3 buttons. You can look for different questions using the search keyword search, and this is where you will edit questions. You are fully welcome to edit questions to your preferences. Any other changes would happen outside of Blackboard in the instructors area. So if you need to make edits or changes to areas outside of Blackboard, then you will need to use these links. For instance, if you need to change the PowerPoint, you would look here in the unit that you were looking for. So again, let's say genetics 3.1. You can change these documents from this view. If you need access to this, you will have to let me know, because currently no one has access to this. So if you need access to that, just let me know so I can add you as a collaborator. Very rarely does quizzes need to be updated, because it is very similar to the question banks within Blackboard. So if you have a problem with a question bank within Blackboard, let me know so that we can also update the quizzes. If you need any more help, feel free to reach out. And now I'm gonna go make the video for updating those dates.